for what's gonna come next. We're not losing our jobs to robots. We're just getting better and transitioning. So specifically, this presentation focuses on what do we need to do to prepare HBCU and MSI students for the future of work with automation. So what exactly is the future of work with automation, first of all? So according to various reports, automation could raise productivity growth globally by 0.8 to 1.4%, which sounds small, but there's 7 billion people on Earth, so that's a lot. So why specifically African Americans, right? Like, don't all lives matter? Aren't all jobs important? But there's been a lot of research on automation generally, and that generally focuses on white people and specifically white men. So Spencer Overton and I wondered, are there any specific differences for black people? And if we had found no, then well, we wouldn't have written this paper, and it wouldn't have been the very first research to focus on this. You will read about race and jobs at risk of automation. You'll read about it in the Huffington Post and Black Enterprise and the Philadelphia Chronicle and the Indianapolis whatever and the Washington whoever. I mean, it's all over the place, and I'm gonna brag a little bit because it's all mine. Everywhere that you'll read about race and jobs at risk of automation, you will either see the name the Joint Center or mine, because I don't really have anybody else to cite for this because nobody else had done race and jobs at risk of automation. So why race? Okay, so African Americans are 1.5 times more likely to be cashiers, cooks, food preparation and serving workers, including fast food, production workers, laborers, stock and material, 1.5 times, and we're only 13% of the population. How are we the most at anything, right? Like, that doesn't make sense if you look at proportions. Over 3 times more likely to be security guards, bus drivers, taxi drivers, and chauffeurs. 3 times we're 13% of the population again. And when I say black, I'm not talking about minority, I'm saying specifically black. So if we look at the 10 occupations at the highest risk of automation, and I'm gonna tell you why that is, Latino workers are 19% of those, African Americans 15, white workers 14, Asians only 12. I wonder what they're doing to not be at risk. Topic for another day. So if you look at this data, this is the 10 jobs. You can see the automation risk score, and so that's like a 0.80 or above on are they at risk of being automated or not. And so you can see retail it is the highest one, 3.3 million people, and of those 406,000 are African American, and the automation risk score is very, very high. That's a scale of 0 to 0.99, right? So 0.92 is really high. So that means that a great proportion of those 406,000 African Americans out of the 3.3 million, I'm not gonna say they're gonna lose their jobs. It's not like, again, the telephone operators, they're just gonna all be employed one day. But they probably do need to find something else to do at some point. Cashiers, secretaries, cooks, we have a whole other stream of research on accountants specifically, because that's a fairly highly educated job that you wouldn't think that they're gonna go away, but yeah, that risk score is 0.94, and there are 151,000, which is not a great proportion, but yeah, we need to find something else for them to do. So when you look at this overall, there are 21.7 million people that basically are going to need to find something else to do within the next 10 to 20 years. So what do we do about that? What do we, HBCU, myself, professors, and whoever else, right? But I'm focused on HBCU and MSI professors. What do we need to do to prepare our students to let them know that this is coming in terms of what is our responsibility? Am I gonna let you major in something where, based on my research, I believe you're not gonna have a job? Do I owe an obligation to tell you that? Like based on this research that I did myself, what'd you say your major was again? You're probably not gonna have a job in 4 years. Maybe you should come major in this other thing where there's gonna be lots of jobs and they don't have nearly enough people working on that. So what is the obligation, and how are schools doing that? How are we guiding students into majors where there will be jobs, or do we just let them major in a thing because they like it, knowing that it's not gonna be there? I don't really know, but hopefully it's something we can figure out. So automation will both eliminate and create jobs. From 2007 to 2016, the general retail sector lost 51,000 jobs. And if you only tell that part of the story, that's horrible. Oh my God, 51,000 jobs? What are they gonna do for income? The e-commerce sector added 355,000. So if somehow we could train those 51,000 people to do the thing where there are gonna be 355,000 jobs available, then is it really a bad thing? Not necessarily, right? There will be a job for you that if we can train you, you'll make more money and probably work less hours. So what are the specific challenges for African Americans? Because again, aren't these things, like, don't they affect everybody? Why do you think Black people are different? Well, average household net worth is like 1/10 of what it is for white people, so that's kind of a problem. If you're saying that I need to get this training and I have 1/10 of the wealth of these other people, well, what money do I have to go to school? I don't have a job where I can take off. I mean, you think I have money to go to DeVry or ITT Tech or the community center even to get this training that you're telling me I need to get? I got kids in school. I have childcare to worry about. How am I supposed to get this training that you're talking about? Implicit bias in hiring. I'm trying to keep the job that I have, right? I deal with racism every day. How are you telling me I'm supposed to go deal with somebody else that's gonna give me an opportunity to do something I don't even understand? Residential and educational segregation. Are they gonna have these programs in my area? I don't know. Transportation. All right, well, now you have it. How am I supposed to get there? Lower rates of digital readiness. We don't have a computer. The internet is terrible. I can't afford internet. I have this flip phone that I only have a certain amount of minutes. How do you expect me to get this opportunity that you're telling me is gonna be out there? I mean, I heard about it, but I don't know anybody involved. All of these are issues specific to the Black community, maybe to some others, but specific to the Black community for sure. So I'm telling you that this is a good thing for everyone, right? Automation is gonna bring about increased effectiveness, that there will be automated school buses. So instead of driving, there'll be a monitor to watch the kids. Won't that be nice? And if properly deployed, we could have autonomous vehicles, and yeah, it'll just be really great. Doesn't that sound good? Yeah, but on the other hand, 83% of jobs making less than $20 per hour may be gone, compared to only 4% of jobs that are making $40 an hour. So good for who? Right? If you're talking about the people making under $20 an hour, good for who? So jobs going away, I have a couple of lists of those created and those going away. So taxi and limo drivers, bus drivers, truck drivers, any kind of driver, basically. I don't know what y'all are gonna do. Fewer doctors and nurses will be needed. Food delivery drivers, mail service. I don't know if you've seen the FedEx thing, the robot thing that's gonna,
deliver to your truck.
Jobs created will be dispatchers to dispatch the various types of vehicles, traffic monitoring systems rather than drivers, ride experience people, whatever that means, right, to help manage the experience, not actually drive you. So these are just some more, any kind of data entry. That's where a lot of the accounting people are going to be affected. There used to be a librarian. Do you remember her generally? I've not seen a librarian. Well, because
There used to be a library.
Well, right, that's what I was going to say. There was a place that it had like books in it.
Right.
I don't know. Anyway, I don't know why you would go to a library. That seems really stupid to me. Everything I need is on the computer, right? Why would I? Like what? Tax preparers. I do my own taxes. I go into the system, whatever it is. Watch repairs. Well, my watch is Samsung now, right? And it works with my phone, or Apple. A watch. I get a new one when my plan turns over. What are you talking about? Math technicians. I don't know if you saw the movie Hidden Figures. The calculator used to be a person. You know, that was 1,000 years ago, right? Yeah. Not really. So, least likely, recreational therapists, first line supervisors, emergency management directors. So now it's people that are managing a process, not actually standing there doing it. Okay, I've told you the problem, and I've done versions of this presentation where I really want to scare people. I like you guys, so I don't really want to scare you. I could go a lot further, but I don't want to do that to you. I like you guys. So I'm going to go on to solutions. So what do we need to do? Increase connections between educators and employers, to create pipelines, to have these employers say what is needed. When I hear about coding, I'm not really sure what that is. Like, maybe you have a better idea, but I'm not really sure what that job does. Like, when you're a coder and you go to work, what do you do from 9 to 5? I don't know. How can I tell my students about a job that they're gonna need a lot of, and I don't know what it is? What do you need to major in? What do I need to put in my class to teach you how to code? I don't know. Maybe somebody needs to tell us, well, coders do this. This is why we need them. These are the classes that they need to take so that we can offer those classes, make it available. Fund programs at HBCUs and MSIs to equip African American and Latinos with whatever the skills are that are going to be necessary, and the knowledge, whatever that may be, for them to do whatever it is that we need for them to do. So technical skills that they're going to need: programming, equipment operation, coding, again, whatever that is, big data, analysis, technical writing. Social skills too, though, and this is getting lost with a lot of students because they don't talk. They have Facebook and chat snap. I know it's Snapchat. I know. I insist on saying chat snap just because it makes them laugh. And Groupon, I know that it's GroupMe. They cannot stand it. I'm like, you guys just get on Groupon and talk about it. Dr. Broady, it's GroupMe. I said what I said. Okay? Trying to seem old-fashioned, if you will. On the Twitter and just get on the social media, children, and you'll figure it out. But they're gonna actually need to be able to persuade people. Emotional intelligence, teaching others, teamwork, conflict resolution. Those sorts of skills will be necessary to train the people that are gonna do the coding and the programming. So what is the role of HBCUs in general? Why do we still need them? I'm sorry, that's a whole other paper, as you mentioned, Dreaming and Doing at Georgia HBCUs, but nearly 50% of all baccalaureate degrees in the natural and physical sciences, and more than 25% of all baccalaureate degrees in engineering were awarded at HBCUs. So we've been preparing students to do those things. Couldn't we prepare them for the future of work with automation? Whatever that may entail. So some collaboration examples. When I was at Kentucky State University, we had a relationship with Toyota where the students did an internship at the big giant Toyota plant to really prepare them for what they were going to be doing. But not only that, administrators from Kentucky State went and met with them to say, what do they need to do to go get this master's degree at UK? Or what do they need to be able to work at Toyota? And so KSU actually changed its course offerings. There were some classes that we didn't have that we needed to have to introduce, that we needed to hire somebody with that knowledge to be able to teach. It's not just, oh, well, we have an engineering major, you ought to take the students that we put out. That's a dumb idea. Like, if you don't prepare the students, I'll go somewhere else, right? So why don't you tell me what you want and let me figure out how to prepare them for what you want, since you're the one that has the jobs to offer that's gonna pay them. When I was at Atlanta Metro, they had a relationship with Europe Atlanta. So students that weren't in college, weren't planning on going to college, didn't have the connections, didn't know what college was, but were very, very bright. Partnered with them, so we offered the educational portion, they offered the soft skills and some of the coding and whatever else that we couldn't do, and they had relationships with corporations. So they got an associate's degree, and they also got a job at the end of it. So, do we really have to do this? Like, do we really have to? What's the competition? Well, since 2001, MIT has been recording all of their courses and making them available. That's 2,080 courses that have been downloaded 131 million times. So why in the world would I pay to come to listen to you, or even you? Like, why would I do that when I'm not paying to come and listen to you, when I can go to MIT for free. The Khan Academy since 2004, that's 2,400 courses downloaded 116 million times. Apple iTunes offers 500,000 courses. I heard you say that you were teaching 5 classes to 400 students, which sounds astronomical to me. Can't imagine. But Apple can, because the classes have been downloaded 700 million times. Why are we still standing there talking to students like that's gonna last forever? I mean, we're already being automated. All of us in this room, we think that our jobs are secure, right? I had tenure at one point. I quit. That's a story for another day. But you have tenure, and so I'm gonna be here forever. So what's the impact on our jobs? Jobs going away, teachers, professors, trainers, and they're being replaced by coaches, course designers, and learning camp coordinators. They're not gonna need us. Not for long, at least. So, again, I didn't mean to scare you. I didn't really mean to scare you. But these are some of the things that we're doing, and some of the questions that I think we should be asking in terms of guiding students towards something that's gonna exist, and hopefully finding something for ourselves in case we're still around. Question?
Very good.